Evening all, how are we doing? We're all good. Happy Tuesday. Ready to head back to Varan Kai. Looking forward to this. New territory and all that. Should be good. Apparently we're joining House Varoon, because we haven't got a lot of options if I look at things, but yeah. Reasons and such. Should be good. Evening Tango, evening Shifty. Are you well? Yeah, ready and raring to go. My video is proving to take taking longer than I hoped. And yeah, also have less hours in the day than I need, really, because don't we always? Yeah. Once I get my eyes working again, that didn't go half as well as I was hoping. We'll get ready and raring to go. Looking forward to this all day. A couple of pictures up on Instagram this evening from last night's play session. One that I grabbed today because it was a replacement for one that I took last night and didn't come out as well as I hoped. Nearly there. I can see. Yeah, not too bad. Little bit on the tired side. Not last night, night before I got very short sleep, so did better today, which obviously knocked things a bit off kilter because I had a bit of a lie-in. But yeah. The upshot being that still trying to get my feet back under me in that regard, but yeah, be all good. Anyway, in the star, right? Let's get this ball rolling. Yeah, it was rather late when I got up. And with everything else I do with midday, I really didn't have as much time as I needed. Good. New Pacific Drive updates and stuff, apparently. I mean, it's been a minute since we played that, but yeah, I enjoyed that game earlier this year. It's itching. Right. So yeah, yesterday we started the Shattered Space update. We headed on to the Oracle Station. It showed up in a random star system. It turned out it was supposed to be somewhere else. It had a Grav-Drive on board to do Grav-Drive experiments with that inadvertently transported the ship away from where it was meant to be. The space station, rather. So once we restored power and got everything going again, it turned out everybody was dead, apart from a few people who seemed to be turned into phantoms. That was weird. And then their corpses sort of rematerialised once they were dead. It was all a bit strange. Doubtless we'll find out more. And yeah, the station then, once we got the power back, transported itself back above Varan Kai, giving us the location of the previously unknown system, previously unmarked star system that is the home of House Varoon. And there were lots of weird kind of wibbly-wobbly anomaly things caused by this Grav-Drive experiment, which it looks like connected the Scaled Citadel, which is the seat of power in Dazra City and House Varoon, to the station, presumably in a geostationary orbit above. And yeah, they were doing stuff and something went belly up. So we're going to find out more about what's happened on the ground and stuff, which should be cool. Evening now. That button. Big one with the Starfield logo, funnily enough. There we go. And yeah, we finished up getting married to Andresia, and that was nice. And yeah, kind of the opposite of a normal ceremony. And normally, you invite guests and things like that. This was literally just the couple situation, which was interesting and cool. Yeah, and then we headed back to Dazra to pick things up again, and made sure that we're going to kick things off in the early morning just as the sun comes up, so we've got a decent bit of sunlight to actually have a look around the place with. Because all too often you arrive in new places at night, and then find you don't get the necessarily the best look around the place because it's all bleeding dark. So if the one drawback to day-night cycles, I suppose. There's my character, looking awesome. Of course, she does. And here is my badass ship. And the front gates to Dazra City. Complete with a massive ass ship over the top of it. So I think we made sure everything was looking good and ready and ready to go. I seem to have quite a large amount of weight on me. Why do I have so much weight? Oh, because I've got a lot of guns on to sell, haven't I? Okay. And other stuff that I want to sell. Yep, that's fine. Right, okay. That's alright. Anyway, through the armory and out the hatch. Here's my Rev 8. And here is the local councillor bloke. What was his name? Malibor Dulkef. Can you see that? Not really, because I'm blocking it. Oh, you have to take my word. And he basically welcomed us, said, well, we may have shown up just in the nick of time for to help with their ongoing issues, and if we were willing to join the faction, maybe we were sent by the Great Serpent. We'll see how this all pans out. Trying to find a way to split a YouTube stream after the fact. I would think, Stella, if you're going to create a studio, you need to do it on desktop. You should be able to either download it and split it and then re-upload. I don't think you'd be able to do it any other way. They do have an editing thing in YouTube Studio, which is a bit of a pain in the arse because you're doing it over the internet, but yeah, I think you'd have to download it, split it, and then re-upload the thing, to be honest. But they might have something in the editor or something in YouTube Studio. Yeah. You can sort of see the scaled citadel over there with the shimmer of the catastrophe hanging around it. And we can't really see from here, but if I look at the map, this is where we are. There's a big old ship in the middle of town. There's the citadel, and more than half of the city has been consumed by whatever happened. That map is so much more useful than they used to be. Anyway, shall we? Oh yeah, you can sort of see my new outfit now. It's from the current update. Should try and get a decent picture of my character wearing this outfit, really, shouldn't I? That's not going to be a decent picture. Get a bit of a downward angle. Yeah, the feet are not that interesting, are they? Just trying to make sure which way we're looking, and that's not really what I need. Probably not quite what I'm after either. Let's try that. There are poses and stuff added to photo mode now, but Scarf's still blowing in the wind. Getting the exact angle I need for thumbnails and the like can be a bit suboptimal at times. See how we do with that. Right. Early morning hour, you right? He's got a cool outfit as well. Yeah, Malibor Dulkef. Just going to open the gates to the city.
Temper what I reveal for now, but surely you saw the scaled citadel as you arrived.
Yeah.
It was the center of an explosion of sorts that has annihilated most of our city. We have lost many of our brothers and sisters. I believe we are still in danger.
Ooh, someone's got a cool outfit.
Counselor, what is the meaning of this?
Is there a problem, Makula?
This city is in shambles. The speaker
Chosen
is
by the
missing,
serpent
and here you are
himself.
leading some outsider through our sacred space? Why allow this husk to defile our city? Have we not lost enough?
Have faith. I believe this outsider was guided here by the Great Serpent himself. And soon, Serpent willing, they will be one of us.
Yes.
I can be sure and pass your concerns on to the rest of the High Council, if you wish. I apologize for the interruption. There is a ritual intended for converts to the Promised that has not been performed in generations. We are fortunate that there are those still alive who remember the old ways and have
Xion Plaza, no
prepared for such a
surprises.
moment as this.
Really expect to be disappearing into caves. That's interesting. You still haven't fixed the fact that NPCs walk either too slowly or too quickly, depending on how you look at
I
it.
suspected we might find you here waiting.
I saw the ship landing. I knew immediately that I would be needed.
Ooh, more detail in that.
You are. This is Inaza Kaisir, Herald of the Serpent. She will guide you through the ritual. I am needed elsewhere, but I assure you that you are in good hands.
So, we basically have to convert. But given our relationship with Andrasia and a whole, even though we worship the Great Serpent, kind of, we're not part of House of Rune, there's still an element of, well, you're either in or you're going to be consumed when the Serpent returns. It's a bit of an absolute thing, which I kind of have issues with, but this will get us in and is kind of facilitating the relationship a little bit, as well as the situation we're in.
So, the Great Serpent sends you...
Like the extra details.
No husk that walk the Serpent's path. To enter this sacred cave, there is no turning back. You will be forever changed. This is a path you must walk of your own free will, alone. Will you step forward and emerge anointed, one of the Promised?
I'm ready, need a minute. What's in the cave? Why am I doing this? Why did you call me a husk? And I've been waiting for this moment my entire life. I'm probably not going to go for that one, because my character's headcanon backstory is more that she kind of rejected a lot of the more extreme end of the House of Rune Serpent's path teachings. So that's maybe a bit much, but I'll go with that one in a minute, I think. But what's in the cave?
A lesson. A test. A moment for the Great Serpent to reach out and fill you with something more than what you have been.
Why am I doing this?
Those born to House Faroon spend every day surrounded by our history. The rituals that separate us from the husks happen naturally over time. You have not experienced that. Those who have not answered the Serpent's call cannot coexist with House Faroon. And so, if you are to aid us in our time of need, you must become one of the Promised.
You see, therein lies the problem. Our way or you're worth shit. Kinda not down for that.
You have not been filled with purpose by the Great Serpent, so you are merely a husk. But perhaps not for long.
I wonder if there's a different response to follow that if you're on a New Game Plus and you've already gone through this. You know, interesting to find out. But yeah, I do struggle with that fucking shit. Like, either follower our religion, or you will be discarded, destroyed, suffer for eternity. All that crap I find more than a little bit contemptible. But you know, I'm ready.
Then enter, and I shall guide you along the Serpent's path. For this is a journey you must undertake alone. Your escort cannot follow.
Wife. word you're looking for is wife, and it's fine. She's already part of House Varun. I don't think she really needs to.
You must walk the path. I am merely here to guide you along your way.
Tell me more about House Varun.
The Serpent's Path will tell you what you need to know for now. After that, the Council awaits.
Love the detail in her outfit.
That, I will be at the temple as I always am. And I will offer counsel as I would to any of the promised.
Fair enough. What's this cave?
It has served more than one purpose for our people over the generations. For a brief time, it was home. But then, in his wisdom, Xion Varun saw fit to turn it into a way for those outside House Varun to begin
Right, the Serpent's Crusade, presumably.
to join us in following the Great Serpent. That ended after the Serpent's Crusade. It feels right to see it used again now, in our time of need.
Why has no one else been converted in so long?
A difficult question. The original converts were accepted in the years after House Varun first made contact with the settled systems. Once the Serpent's Crusade began, there were fears that anyone from the outside could be spies, infiltrators. And after the Crusade, few were eager to join. When Xion Varun's son Jarek took power, we pulled back, rejected contact with non-believers. We removed any avenues for converts to find us. But there were those among us who hoped that one day we might help others see the light of the Great Serpent's teachings. And if we can survive our current situation, your presence here now might sway opinions on future converts.
Yeah, it might be the first steps towards a slightly less insane position, but you never know. One of the big questions I have is, the colony ship disappeared, the Archimedes. Xion Varun claimed to have his vision, set up House Varun, and then some years later they reappeared near Neon, I believe, with the transponder signal being displayed from the old colony ship that had disappeared, being displayed by a new ship they'd built. And then they rejoined the society before 20 years or so after that, or some years or so after that, retreating back and then starting the Serpent's Crusade, which basically was a big old war. Then Xion Varun dies, his son takes over, whose name was there and began with a J, but I can't remember it right now, and stopped the Serpent's Crusade. And then they were pulled back to Varankai and the system, which was then kind of concealed from everybody else. So in the years before the Serpent's Crusade, did nobody else know where this system was? Did it not get revealed during that time? There's just sort of some questions out. I'm guessing not. But then they had people coming to Dazra to walk this Serpent's Path and join House Varun. They must have had a way to get them there. Maybe they had to be brought by people who already knew, but and they just control the information. But also maybe those left behind and infiltrators and stuff removed the information from star maps and the light. And they're like, interesting question, though. You're a herald?
I am. I carry on the traditions that Xion Varun began and maintain our people's connection to the Great Serpent. I and others like me look after the temples and offer guidance to those who need it. And now, it seems I am called upon to help the Serpent's call fill a new vessel. Truly, I am blessed.
So here we go.
Farewell.
Should be interesting. Okay, she's in front of me somewhere.
The path lies before you. Go on and continue to fulfill your holy purpose.
Not a colander. Ooh, it's a cool purple candle. Interesting.
Before House Faroon, there were humans. First on Earth, then scattered among the stars. And like all humans, they were lost souls, wandering in the dark, looking for a path.
Schizo Panda, thank you for the sub. Welcome on in. That's alright. This is interesting. Looks to be a dead end. I'm thinking left. It's illuminated. Looks promising. Wow.
One particular colony ship housed several hundred of these souls. They were each alone and isolated. Individual tiny flames that could be snuffed out at a moment's notice.
Blow out a candle. You so desire.
But Xion encountered the Great Serpent
So
and
he
was
said.
given the gift of knowledge. He shared his knowledge with those around him and lit the way for them. They followed his guidance and his light, and they cast aside the burdens of their former lives. And thus, House Faroon was born. Now you too have the chance to cast aside your burdens, to relieve yourself of anything that holds you back.
Cast aside one's burdens. What would I cast aside? Pick something to sacrifice, I guess. Decisions. Gonna be any of that because I kind of want all of this stuff. Is there anything that's not worth much because I've got a lot of expensive stuff. That would be the cheapest thing I've got. I can live with chucking that in there. Curious as to what might be further back if I stick my nose back that way. Assuming I can. I may not be able to. Door's still open. That's a dead end. Also a dead end. Okay. My breath come back just a moment.
The people's hopes and fears and dreams were entrusted to the Great Serpent. They made the leap of faith that brought House Faroon to greatness. You may now follow in their footsteps and take that same leap. Embrace the Great Serpent, and he will embrace you.
She'll make a leap of faith and go that way if I don't want to. Well, taking a leap of faith that walking the Serpent's path and joining up with House Faroon is a good humanitarian choice and will be good for the relationship with Andrea, even though I have my misgivings about the whole situation, so it definitely is a leap of faith. I wondered whether or not I was going to be carried across in any way. I was not. If I'd not had a jetpack, that might have been different. If you don't want to do it, you can bypass and come this way. Which I don't know, makes more sense as a way to maintain the...
The people of House Faroon settled this world, at first
Ah.
in these very caves. Xion Faroon himself slept among them in these shelters. It was here that he spread the word of the Serpent. It was here that the people of House Faroon first understood the truth of their place in the universe.
Interesting.
And it was here that the people of House Faroon
How stylized.
first
Cool.
understood the truth of the shrouding. The Great Serpent's return. He will encircle the universe he created, and all those who do not follow will be cast into shadow. And the people weighed this knowledge against their former lives, and saw how they had been blessed despite the difficult new life that awaited them. You too would do well to feel that solace amidst the pain.
Not the least comfortable house inside a cave I've ever seen. Not even close. Well, more of a hostel or dormitory type arrangement, really. I don't feel like picking locks and stuff is entirely appropriate, or stealing stuff in here. So it's as much as I have my issues with the almost serve mentality. Dwelling of Xion Faroon. In these humble quarters in the first year of settlement resided Speaker Xion Faroon, chosen of the Great Serpent. Yeah, as much as I have those issues, I feel like nicking a bunch of stuff is a bit pissing on somebody else's right to have their faith. Interesting looking ornament. He didn't have a picture of himself on the wall during his time living here. Maybe he did, I don't know. Wave sort of looks like she's doing, you know, that at the moment. That's probably going to be the one. I kind of want more of a pondering it type vibe if I could, but... Meditate in front of the poisoned water. What could possibly go wrong? Or in the poisoned water. Those who will be lost come the end. I can't remember how to get rid of that particular effect on my health bar. I'll figure it out later.
Until that day comes, we are the voice and the hands of the Great Serpent. Our every act a sacrifice to hasten his return. Make now a sacrifice to prove your devotion. And remember,
Dave.
whether in life or in death, all must serve.
Yeah, I have objections to the almost serve thing. But anyway, yeah, if you're not wanting to get the spoilers, that's fair, Steve. And you can always catch up later. Hope you're doing alright. Ah, the effect has worn off, which is good. So, that is a groat. Well, Androsia talks about having a pet groat and raising it and then having to sacrifice it and make a dagger out of its skull, so... yeah. For those who are not entirely comfortable with this... R.I.P., my friend. Ritual chamber, huh?
Let us begin the final ritual.
Here to be getting high.
Have stood before the Great Serpent. We can all feel his presence. To solidify his bond, you are presented with a simple choice. Before you on this dais are several items. They represent different aspects of House Varun's connection to the Great Serpent. Pick the two that call to you. Place them on the altars. Offerings to the Great Serpent that he may fill you with his spirit and make you promise.
Devotion, obedience, strength, and perseverance. Interesting. Well, I'm not going for obedience because I have objections to this. Effigy of strength, interesting. Perseverance, yeah, I like that one. And devotion, that kind of works too. I think strength and perseverance are going to be more of a choice than devotion, I think. And definitely not obedience, so I think I'm going with these two. You tried to play it this morning and your game was buggy on New Game Plus. That's interesting. When did you last play your New Game Plus? And I wonder if I updates and things and such. Couldn't fast travel without it crashing. Mission's not showing. Others not completing. That's weird. 5 months ago. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that, to be honest. Strength or perseverance first? Strength first, I think. Swap those out. Strength down here, perseverance towards the exit. That fits better for me. There we go. Yeah, you'll be far from starting the DLC. Yeah. Well, I know the compound of stuff going on. Hopefully it ends up being a bit smoother for you now, because now that you're restarting, at the very least, you'll be able to take advantage of all the fixes that have come through since then. You know, with everything being a fresh run and stuff. So hopefully things will go better, but I don't know. Console gaming, I guess. Here we go. Hey, honey.
I was just thinking about you.
No.
You will think of me, I hope.
Especially in the shower. Wait, what?
And so you arise, one of the promised of House Va'ruun. Did you feel the Great Serpent working within you? Do you feel born anew?
Thanks extending to serve the Great Serpent. I just want to help. I do what I need to, even if I don't believe in it. Feel the same as I did before. What a waste of time. Well, I'm not going with I exist only to serve. I don't like that. I think she does believe, but not quite in the same way they want to. It's the doctrine, not the belief, that she has more of a problem with. Same as did before. Which time? Same as did before, I think is going to be the honest one. Not doing that. Not doing that either. And that's just, no. So, yeah. Process of elimination.
Through strength and perseverance, House Va'ruun will triumph over all that stands in its way. I grant you the title of Vindicator.
Interesting.
All will know you. All will trust you. Above us, in the grand ship morning, jewel of the Va'ruun fleet, the High Council awaits your arrival.
Oh, that's interesting as well.
Serve them.
Morning.
Serve the Great Serpent. All must serve.
There we go. That'll do.
I am grateful for our time together, always.
Probably not right now.
Come back to me soon, dearest.
So, on we go. Playing mods on your other game, went through all the mods and I turned them all off, but said you still had mods on. Yeah, I can imagine there's some issues around that. Evening Ancient. But, yeah, using the disable all button, I could see why that would be a thing, kind of. Like, That way it's harder for people to dodge the whole modded playthrough marker on things. You know, people using mods to sort of cheat their way to get any achievements other people work towards, I guess. It's one of the few areas where your gaming overlaps with other people's, I think. Although it's all a bit weird, to be honest. So, up to the Morning. So the Morning was the ship that... Not the initial ship they set out on, that was the Archimedes, but years later when House Varun appeared and reintroduced itself, or introduced itself as a faction to the rest of the settled systems, the Morning was the ship that showed up with the previous ship's transponder code near Neon. So there's the sort of original, not the original, but the one that they re-emerged with. So that'll be interesting. And up we go. It appears to now be built into the mountain, possibly. Very curious. Yeah, it does look like it. Goodies. Now we're out here, I don't feel like I'm doing anything quite so sacrilegious. Well, here, helping myself to the stuff that are left lying around. Open that door, though. It's okay. Yeah, that opens way closer than I wanted it to. It's quite cool, that outfit. Trying to get the character to look the direction I want. That might have worked, actually. Not quite, I don't think. No, her eyes are just staying entirely focused on Androsia. That's a bit weird and uncomfortable. Try that. Nah. Yeah, it's not playing ball. Morning ship cockpit or the Serpent's path? Cockpit. Ooh. Interesting. Doesn't look like this ship will be going anywhere anytime soon if the cockpit looks like that. Maybe it could, I don't know. Interesting. What have we got here then? A whole bunch of folks. And you can see the scaled citadel out the cockpit, which is about what you'd expect, I think. But it's Ministry of Commerce.
Did you need something? Welcome, Vindicator. You stand before what remains of the High Council, advisors to Nasco Varun. We are all that is left after the disaster that has befallen our people. I represent House Dulkef. Jamal is from House Kadik, and we are joined by Lovek of House Vital. We are, all of us, hopeful that your arrival in Dazra and your clear connection to Anasko Varun, for the first time in weeks, represent some semblance of hope.
So, 2 points. One of the scientists on board, the lead scientist on board the station that was the Oracle, was part of her house, which is the name I've forgotten of already. Sirac was the name of the guy, but he was part of her house. And the connection to a Anasko Varun thing is because we seem to be the only person who can hear him speak. He appears in the city every so often, or is in kind of phantom form, but nobody can hear the words he's saying, and we're the first ones who have. What's with all the houses? Aren't you all House Varun?
Collectively, we unite under the banner of House Varun, pledged to follow Jinan Varun and his descendants. But our society is not a monolith. Jinan, in his wisdom, shepherded the first of us into families that we might grow and prosper. Our 3 families have for generations now helped to govern the people of House Varun, and offer counsel to our leader.
So I don't know if he'll explain this here, but it sounds like there were actually a total of 5 houses, because House Varun is another house. It's just the house of Jinan and his descendants, and it's kind of the high house, as it were. And so that's 4. And the 5th one is the house that was exiled and kicked out after the Serpent's Crusade and became the Zealots, because they did not want to go along with everybody else who ended with the ending of the Serpent's Crusade, in particular, because the order was made by the head of House Varun. So that's why they got the boot. I don't have a connection. Somebody needs to start explaining what's going on. Someone needs to start explaining what's going on.
I understand. Until you were one of us, we could not trust you.
By all means, Malabor. I can't wait to see how you spend this.
Please, can we just for a moment...
Can we
Something on a
just
slightly
for
higher
moment
bit for a
what?
floor.
Discuss whether or not to allow the first convert to House
That
Varun
was
since before
him,
any
apparently.
of us were born? A bit late on that, it seems.
You were not there. You did not see Anasko. It felt different. We have already wasted so much time.
You're
Must be
correct.
his family,
I was
not hers, then.
there, because you elected to travel to the spaceport on your own, and then decided this on your own.
Do not waste time with more bickering.
The file, that's
and
it.
by extension House Varun suffers with every passing moment.
Of course, Lovek. My apologies. Please, Malabor, do go on.
Anasko Varun, like his father before him, has relied on the teachings of Jinan to guide us. Anasko wondered if perhaps it was time to seek guidance directly from the Great Serpent, and so sought a means of reaching out.
Perhaps he found the teachings inadequate.
Careful, Kadik. You tread on dangerous ground.
I mean nothing by it. We simply were never consulted on the matter and do not know the full motive.
The point is that a series of experiments have taken place over the years, utilizing Grav-Drive technology to hopefully make direct contact with the Great Serpent, similar to Jinan Varun's initial meeting.
And then something went wrong.
Weird.
We do not know what happened. We were not inside the Scaled Citadel at the time.
Had we been, we wouldn't be standing here now. We'd be like the rest of them.
A great tide of energy emanated from the Scaled Citadel and swept across Dazra. Much was destroyed in its wake. Those caught in the blast have been left in a state of confusion, trapped halfway between our universe and the Vortex. The Citadel itself remains in such a state. Right there and yet beyond our reach. We can only assume that the experiment is still running, somehow preventing us from entering the Citadel. We cannot get in, so we cannot stop it. We're beginning to lose hope before you arrived.
Interesting. Yes, the whole nobody else has spoken to the Great Serpent since Jinan Varun thing is a bit of a flaw in the whole religious thing. I mean, that's the faith point, right? But, you know, the guy who founded it claimed to not need the faith so much on the grounds that he'd actually encountered the serpent, but no fucker else ever has. I don't think he sounds quite like he's any particular accent, really. What is weird so far, and doesn't make a lot of sense, and this kind of happens in Starfield generally in places, but also here, is that not everybody from Dazra speaks with the same accent, which you'd think they would. Like, I mean, I get that, you know, you go back to Earth, there were different accents headed out, and you'd see bits of those where groups of people from various places on Earth ended up settling. So if a bunch of people set from Australia, to pick somewhere out of the air, and created a town somewhere, you'd expect even years later remnants of that in that location. And House Varun may have started off as more of a mixed bag of dialects, which is fine, but that was like ages ago, 100+ years ago at this point, and then some, I think. So the accents would likely have homogenized more over time to create a House Varun accent, which does not seem to have been the case, which is interesting. And how are we doing, Miss Fahrenheit? Yeah, I get mistaken for Australian sometimes as well. In Cumbria, actually, funnily enough. Seems to be the place it happens more often than anywhere else. Yeah. It's an interesting phenomenon, though, in the game. It's perhaps something that they may have overlooked a little bit. Or maybe they decided not to try and do things like nail down their accents in a certain area because difficult to do, perhaps, or massively time-consuming or something. Juice not worth squeeze or something, I don't know. But it's interesting. So what is the vortex?
Forgive me, I am no scientist. But as it has been explained to me, what we call the vortex is the space between universes.
Yeah, I rather thought that was going to be the void is often used in that particular context as well. Yeah, I thought that would be what it was. Also, from the end game story, you know, we jump to different universes, hence the New Game Plus mechanic, and alternate realities, alternate universes, and then the void being the space between kind of ties all this in a way together, and the idea that the Great Serpent is somewhere between them all, perhaps, in its hibernation. How long ago did this happen?
It has only been a few weeks.
Only?
There have been efforts to put together some kind of response, some plan. But they had fallen apart.
So how do I fit in all of this?
Your arrival and your interaction with Anasco shows that he can still be saved. The plan had been devised to access the Citadel, but the work stalled. Clearly, it is time to move forward with it. The current head of our science team, Ekris, should be in Xion Plaza down below us, towards the Citadel. Tell him about your experience with Anasco, and that work on the morning device must proceed.
Morning device. Interesting. So we're here. Report Ministry of Commerce. As per Council's request, assessment of Ministry of Commerce operations. Ministry operations temporarily transferred to Halls of Healing in light of loss of Halls of Authority and House Dulkef residents. I'll be that, guys. Emergency supply stores have been activated. Military and security personnel enlisted in protection and distribution of critical supplies, primarily medical and foodstuffs. Significant losses in both personnel and records have applied additional pressure to ministry operations even. Hasmak Dulkef, appointed Elder of House Dulkef, thus far limited engagement with day-to-day ministry activities. Okay. Report post-incident status. As per Council's request, an assessment of House Varun operations in aftermath of Citadel incident follows. All structures in the immediate vicinity of Scaled Citadel are gone, including the Halls of Authority. All major ministry operations have relocated and are operating off of record backups and emergency supplies and funding. Administrative personnel losses are still being totalled. Most key figures were present in the Citadel at the time of the incident and are presumed missing or dead. Science team hit hardest, notable exception of Ekris Kaisir. Ekris Kaisir, I think will be the pronunciation there. Okay. Military and security forces heavily affected. Minimal personnel presence is being maintained within Dazra, with personnel being reassigned from outlying areas. So they're pulling back to the city. Rumours of mass desertions are being actively countered. And does that mean they're not happening, and they're just rumoured, or they are, and you're trying to keep it quiet, I wonder? Supply chain disruptions have drained already low reserves. Ministry of Commerce is attempting to compensate by establishing new connections, but time delay will exacerbate already low stockpiles. Funding notice. From Office of the Speaker. Herald Inaza has brought to my attention a disturbing matter. There has been a discussion of eliminating the funding to maintain and preserve the Serpent's Path in the latest proposed budget. I find this surprising given the paltry amount requested and the significance of the location. It should be enough that the cave is a key piece of our shared heritage. Were it not for those caves, none of us would be here today. If all goes to plan in the coming months, we may be able to thank the Great Serpent himself for a new wave of recruits to our cause. The Serpent's Path may yet again be needed for its original purpose. I'm confident the Council will make the right decision, and if the funding cannot be secured, I would be more than happy to personally take a closer look at the budget to see what areas might be trimmed in order to free up funds. Anasco. Interesting. So it's not quite the absolute leadership that it might seem from Anasco Varun there, who is, the head of House Varun. Clearly, the council does have a certain amount of control, and from the sound of things, can't just flat out overrule them. Otherwise, he wouldn't be making requests. Sounds like his requests carry a lot of weight, but it doesn't seem to be absolute, which is interesting. No, definitely not Welsh. I think arguably about halfway No, that doesn't make any sense. Never mind me, I'm talking weirdness. Shockingly. I do like that. I was contemplating using console commands to get Andreas' outfit, so that the kind of couple stroke, both sharing a bit of the House Varun stuff, was kind of reflected in the clothes we're wearing. But with obviously with the expansion, that's kind of not necessary. I've got my own thing going on now. And yeah, I think this outfit suits a little better. And we're not kind of dressed like twins either, so that's a win. Dazra City.
Do you know the
Weirdness and car crashes. Yeah, that's kind of me, really.
The old married couple? Azad and Shireen, if I remember right. I've met them a few times. They seemed a little eccentric, but were otherwise quite nice.
That's them, yes. They're apparently looking for some help with their research. They made some kind of discovery that has them troubled.
Good luck finding help at a time like this.
Indeed. Yet the Serpent provides for the faithful, so who knows?
Nothing is truly impossible.
So, there's another side quest we can pick up. That's where I need to go. I want to learn the way around a little bit, so Spaceport right, Jinan Plaza to the left. Apparently.
Nothing. Let's just go home.
Spaceport, there's a lift to the spaceport there, apparently. So I see, that's where we went. This is interesting. It would also appear that I can't activate this lift, this big old cargo lift. I've just got to use the little one, I'm guessing, because loading. Okay. So, places discovered in white. We're in depository. Don't know what the deal with that is. Keep Armory. Herald's Rest. This looks like a bar. Bacon House. Goods Exchange. Meat House. Alteration Clinic. Halls of Healing. Which I think they were saying there's also some trading going on over this direction. Okay, so this is the lower area here. There's the ship, and we were doing a whole lot of stuff under the ship, which probably can't take off anymore, given this way it's arranged. And if that's digging into it like that, definitely not. So yeah, looks like we could come. There's some stuff going on there, which might be vaguely interesting to look at some point. I'll poke around down here and see what the depositories and stuff. And then up here to where the plaza is, from the look of it. Okay, so it's not as... That's what's going on out this way. I guess we'll find out in time as well. This isn't marked, but I'm curious as to what's up here as well. Security Center. Kind of hoping I wouldn't be heading to an internal location here. Is there security? This is the... Okay. Okay. Security officers and stuff, and you get caught, get up to no good. This is probably where you're going to be dragged off to. So, there's the depository. So either... Yeah, I've got no idea what this might be. Curious.
I am sure we can make a deal.
Are you now?
I was hoping you would eventually stumble into my shop. Welcome.
Reputation precedes me, an unusually friendly greeting. You don't have to pretend to like me just to get me to spend credits. So actually, you're hoping to meet me?
Well, yes. I realize others might treat people such as yourself with skepticism and distrust, but my opinions differ. You've clearly been chosen by the Great Serpent, sent here to help us in our time of need. In my mind, to treat you with anything but respect would be ignorant.
Interesting. Unusually friendly greeting.
Oh, yes. I imagine it's been difficult for you. It's rare that an off-worlder finds their way to Dazra. But not just any off-worlder. One that's able to speak with a Nazca Varun himself, which in the eyes of the citizens of Dazra moves you up from the suspiciously curious category to the dangerously unique one.
Hardly dangerous. My arrival on the planet is clearly the will of the Great Serpent. Don't blare away and wary of strangers. You clearly know who I am, but I don't know who you are. If you want to keep your arm's length, suits me just fine. It's a little too absolute. Don't blame for be wary of strangers. Well, the whole kind of anti-stranger thing is kind of where it... the bit that I have issues with. Anti-outsider attitude. You know who I am, but I don't know who you are.
Are my manners? I'm Nalada Brady. Forgive me for not starting our conversation that way. I've been a bit distracted of late. My brother Qasim has been missing for days. I'm beginning to worry that something terrible has happened to him.
We hear that. It's been a few days. Didn't hear life story. Just want to buy some stuff. A lot of people gone missing recently.
Well, yes, but the incident that claimed most of Dazra was several weeks ago. Qasim and I were fortunate that our shop wasn't destroyed like so many others around us.
Okay, sorry to hear that.
Yes, thank you. But my problems need not burden you. If you want to take a look at what my shop has to offer, well, you let me know.
Like to see your wares. Tough to run a business amidst all this chaos. Perhaps I could help you locate Qasim.
Really? You do that for me? Oh, you truly are a gift from the Great Serpent. I knew he hadn't forsaken us.
Well, a bit of a humanitarian, at least. Why do you consider me a divine gift? I'm simply flesh and blood like everyone else. Anything for anyone if there's payment involved. Don't get too excited, I can't make guarantees. I'll do my best. All I need to know is where to start. Why do you consider me a divine gift? I'm flesh and blood like everyone else.
Isn't it obvious? I believe the Great Serpent has specific designs for all of us. You consider yourself to be nothing more than flesh and blood, but you have a purpose. And purpose is greater than the sum of all our parts.
Okay. I'll do my best. I need to know where to start.
Oh, yes, of course. The last time I heard from Qasim, he was headed out to the Deep Gorge refinery to assess if it could be reopened. He never came back that evening. I've been worried sick.
Interesting. Deep Gorge refinery?
Of course. How would you know about that place? It's an old mineral processing facility a good distance to the southeast of Dazra. It closed down years ago due to... You know, I'm not even sure why. It ran out of resources, I think. There was very little talk about it around town.
Interesting. Sure he wants to be found?
Impossible. Despite what's happened in Dazra, Qasim has been in good spirits of late. No, if anything, I'm afraid he's been injured and can't make the journey home. Or worse.
Let's see what I can do.
That's all that I would ever ask. Just please be careful. That old refinery has been abandoned for years, and there's no telling what might be choosing to call the facility its home. Now, is there anything you might need for your journey?
Why did he head out there in the first place?
The cataclysm that claimed most of Dazra has severely impaired our ability to survive on Varun Kai. Qasim is simply trying to use his engineering background to help everywhere that he can. In this case, he's trying to assess if the refinery can be reopened. He strongly believes that the loss of the city's infrastructure means we need to rely on everything we can in order to get back on our feet.
Okay. So right now, a question just popped into my head, which is... Varun Kai is still hidden from the rest of the wider galaxy. We found the place because the space station, the Oracle, appeared in another system. We happened to stumble across it and were on board having restored its power when it jumped back here. But I also know there's going to be Spacers and Crimson Fleet and Varun Zealots, which are less surprising, but in places on Varun Kai, and I'm still curious how they found the place. Tell me more about Qasim. Tell me a bit more about Qasim.
Do you mean to ask if it's a sore subject to bring up since he's missing? Not at all. Qasim and I have been close ever since we were young. Our father and mother taught us everything we needed to know about running this shop, so that one day we could take over. When they passed, Qasim and I ran the business for a few years together, but I could see his heart was elsewhere. I gave him my blessing, and he attended an engineering academy. In a few more years, he graduated and made quite a name for himself. When the government reached out to everyone for help after the incident, I wasn't the least bit surprised he was the first to volunteer. I can only pray that his eagerness hasn't gotten him into deep trouble.
Tell me about the refinery.
Not much more, other than what I've already told you. The only silver lining from the refinery's shutdown was that all of the workers were placed into other positions throughout the city, so no one went hungry.
Something, anyway. Okay, let's see what you've got.
I'm sure we can strike a bargain.
You got $5,000. That's not going to get very far. Shielded lab outfit. Okay, that's not just a general house run. This is specific to a house, which is quite interesting. Mind you, they are scientific orientated, and that's the general one. It's interesting. Okay. Right. What have I got to sell? A whole bunch of stuff, really. A number, which is the new sniper rifle type deal. But I haven't got... I'm going to sell one, I think. No, I think I'll sell the lot. Mind you, I have just cleaned out almost all of her credits. 800 left, screw that Xion. And there we go. I'm not going to buy... I could buy ammo from her so that I could get rid of some more stuff, but I'm not going to do that right now. Okay. So she's selling materials and stuff. Resources. Wonder if there's a player house to be acquired in Kai or in Dazra somewhere. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? You know, an apartment or a house or something. Oh, it's busted. Stands to reason. Okay. Well, I'm a bit of a refinery in that direction. That's the guy who wants help, I think. Asad Debas. Yeah, looking for a research assistant. Somewhere way out that way, so we'll get there eventually. Okay. Keep. Heads down. I think we started, yeah, because the ships were up above my head and it was that way. So... well, there's an armory over this way, so let's go and have a look over this way and see what we can find.
Yes.
Okay.
Hopefully the soldiers are all out on missions or patrols and not gone.
Normally a lot more soldiers, eh, Andresia? Presumably outside the city here.
Any interesting results?
Yeah. Okay. There's a citadel. Interesting place to kind of lure my way around a bit. Probably where the armory is.
All I am saying is that I am not pleased with the recent outsider influence. I am sure you know what I am referring to.
Yes,
With me.
and I agree with you. The first outsider in generations, and they are welcomed with open arms. However, for sure they're not an off-worlder spy.
Perhaps this is the first wave of an impending cultural infiltration. The settled systems are scared of us, and so they are trying to tame us from within.
Yeah, they do seem all a little bit suspicious. The keep and there's its armory. Okay. Guess we'll find out if they trade from here in a minute, won't we?
Apologies, but you're not clear to purchase from me yet. Sorry, but you will have to get approval before you can buy any weapons from me. You do not have approval to trade with me.
She's not going to share any more information than that then. Okay. Basically, they don't want to sell guns to the stranger yet. Kind of get that. I'm exactly lacking. This looks like it's kind of barracks end of town. On the look of things. See if this lift works. Come in, Andresia, or are you staying there? try again. Hey! She got there eventually. Okay, so this looks to be more spaceport type stuff. Yeah. Presumably military ships. Crikey, look at that for a view. Well, you did just jump off the lift from the top end, Rachel. What do you expect? Another gate out. Interesting. It looks like...
seems to have remained largely unscathed. How fortunate for them.
Guess she's none too impressed with that fact. Kadik. Okay. Well, I'm not going to go in there just now, but we probably will eventually. Which is the slightly cynical lady's house, I think. Interesting. Chunks. Chow down on them chunks.
May the Great Serpent guide you.
Okay. Just a random door. Interesting. Adlam House, okay. I'm pretty sure I know where that's gonna connect back to. Kind of.
I got you your favorite from the meetings.
Herald's Rest, cool.
Finally, just the way you like. Do you want to eat it now? Please. Please, just eat something. Drink something. Say something, please. I've been like this for weeks. I do not know what to do. I miss you, my friend. I miss you. Please, tell me what I can do.
Don't think I can help there. Bit laggy there. The Varun home. Goods exchange.
This is unreal.
Crikey.
The view of the Citadel from this plaza was never so clear. So many buildings used to be in the way.
Will I ever see my family again?
If I come back up here, I suspect... Yeah, that connects back to where we were, okay. Oops.
Do you truly have no shame? No shame at all. What you have done goes beyond disgraceful. It is morbid, disgusting. You should be hanging your head in shame. But instead, here you are, acting like a common fool.
Borhal, calm down. Do not do this here.
How shameful of you to have these outbursts. Oh my, what would poor mother and father think?
You will speak not of mother and father, you sloughing bastard. No shame. No shame at all. What a waste of good life that they worked tirelessly to give you.
Mother and father spat on the ground I walked on. You were their pride and joy. Oh, good, generous Borhal. Always the paragon, the keeper of our family name.
I am disgusted to call you brother. It would be best for all of us if by some miracle you were to drown in one of those bottles of Koza you are so infatuated with.
Yikes.
A brother like you, is it any wonder I am driven to drink?
Let's check it out, his outfit.
What? What do you want?
Cross the scene, take the argument somewhere else, break it up, no one wants to hear it. What's going on here?
This does not concern you.
Please accept my apologies. I caught my brother attempting to do something unspeakable, and I could not contain my anger.
Were the goats involved?
Oh yes, go on. Invite a total stranger into our family squabbles.
This is no squabble, you pompous fool. What you have done today is abhorrent. I
There were
forgive
definitely goats
stealing my
involved.
money or pawning my valuables. What I cannot abide, however, is you attempting to some mother's urn with her remains still within.
I have done many things I am not proud of, but I have never stooped as low as that.
Yeah, that's pretty awful.
I was drunk, I did not know. All of those vases appeared the same.
It is an urn, not a vase, you ignoramus. And you were the one who chose it when Mother passed away. I am tired of your shamelessness, and I am done bearing what should be your indignity. Do you hear me? I am done. You have gone too far this time, Amila, and I cannot bear the humiliation of being your brother any longer. I challenge you to a duel.
That might be a bit of an overreaction.
Shall be my second.
What? Are you mad?
Borhal, are you sure? There is already so much death in the city. What good would this do? There has to be another way.
Too late, Danica. He has issued his challenge. I accept. I, in fact, look forward to it. You shall be my second.
I will fucking not. Need someone to show me the ropes, not getting involved in this. What? Why me? Some other way we can resolve this. Don't even know what a second is. What's in it for me? Isn't there some other way we can resolve this?
No. I believe we have just passed the point of no return.
I would not have proposed the duel unless I were fully committed to it. I am well past the point of compromising.
I mean, I get why this guy is, this one here, is so upset. His brother is at best a fucking idiot, if not a complete ass. But I think his reaction is a bit over the top. Welcome back now. Why in the hell would you want me?
No, why not you? You seem capable and trustworthy.
Literally just walked up to you in the street.
Amila has no one, family or otherwise, willing to be his second. He has burned every bridge there is to burn. He will have to resort to picking someone off the street regardless, so it may as well be you.
I do not want to wait any longer than necessary. If you agree to this, you will allow us to come to an immediate resolution. I will pay you handsomely for that.
let's just check what they want me to do.
Our job is to make preparations and ensure fairness on both sides. We shall have different duties between the two of us, but our aim is to prepare the site of the duel. Weapons, ceremonies, and discourage any ambushes.
Well, maybe we can arrange something to make sure this doesn't go the way it seems. You know, like providing them both with a pistol that doesn't have any ammunition in it. So, you know, limiting the deadliness or something to that effect. Someone will need to show me the ropes. I kind of want to go, I'm not getting involved in this, but I kind of want to see if I can make sure it doesn't end horribly.
Then it is settled. Outsider, you will work alongside Danica to prepare for the duel.
Danica was a name in
Enjoy these last
Skyrim.
few moments, for when we next meet, your shameful life ends.
Do not sound so confident, brother.
There's White Spring.
Their family home is this way. It is not far. We can discuss the matters there. You will be working with me.
Well.
As seconds, it is our duty to prepare for the duel and ensure fairness. I am sorry that you have found yourself in this situation. But know that you are doing Amila a great favor. He truly has no one else who would be willing to do this for him. He has burned every bridge imaginable. It seems that after years of suffering,
I believe that. How are we doing, Ghost?
Borhall has reached the boiling point. But still, to challenge your brother to a duel. I pray that we will be able to work towards a peaceful resolution before it's too late.
Okay. Well, I'm going to come back in a minute and I'll catch him up because I still want to check out the goods exchange over here. Apparently we've got ourselves suckered into a random duel because, yeah, that's what happens when you wander into town, apparently. This place looks like it's seen better days.
You have no place in our city.
Oh, this is the guy who wasn't very happy when I first arrived, was he? I think. Cola, yeah.
Were it not for the council, you would be cut down, as you should. Get away from me, husk.
Didn't think so. Well, why not? See what's out this door. Kind of thought it might be a place to trade, but it is not. At least not at the moment, anyway. What's the exchange? Hang on. Okay, right, we're on the side here. Right. Because if we head further this way, it looks like we'll probably make our way over towards these spots. And see what's going on. So there's the rest of there, and that's where we need to go for the main story quest in a bit. Halls of Devotion, Halls of Authority. Well, the Halls of Authority we know inside the explosion, and apparently so was this place.
Everything we have ever worked for, gone in an instant.
We will rebuild, darling. Everything will be all right. I promise you. It was not a very nice home anyway, huh?
Your jokes are not helpful.
I apologize. I am just trying to put a smile on that face. It has been so long since I have seen you smile.
I do not understand.
Yeah, I can imagine it's not great in third person,
How
guys.
can you be so relaxed? We are homeless.
The house and our belongings, they were nice, and I do miss them. But they are not you. You, my love, are my strength. As long as I have you, nothing can break me. Everything will be right, love. I promise you.
Oh, guy's got the right attitude from the look of things. A cool looking building. Guessing people have been laying a lot of candles for loved ones who disappeared.
Like this. Now, look at this place.
Take care of them. Thank you wherever you are. Help me.
Great Serpent saved Dazra from sin. You'll see.
Yes, always with the sin. Yep, I'd say shit hit the fan when some kind of weird whirlwind of stuff when whatever went down went down. Yep, and half your city disappears. You know, this is all that's left. I should say people would go missing. That's the bridge of the ship. Morning.
I do hope that the Great Serpent has a plan for me.
Jarek Plaza. So, Jinan was the first one. I think Jarek must have been the second speaker, the son of both Obedience, Healing, Meat House, and Alteration Clinic. Jinan Plaza, the Keepers of Authority.
In the year 2240, House Faroon went to war with the settled systems, in what has come to be known as the Serpent's Crusade.
Did we win?
No.
Well, the settled systems think they did.
Why did we fight them again?
Jinan Varoon believed that he was tasked by the Great Serpent to claim dominion over the galaxy. The Serpent's Crusade was an attempt to make that a reality.
What do you think of the Serpent's
The Great
Crusade?
Serpent will deliver
What
us
do
from
I
this.
think of it?
I know it.
Yeah. Do you think it was...
Yes, child. I know what they meant. And my answer is this. If Jinan Varoon decided that the Crusade was necessary, then it was. The Great Serpent.
Yeah. He's not vacant house. Okay. Wonder if that's going to end up being my house potentially. Oh, if Jinan thought it was the thing to do, it must have been right. He can't possibly have been wrong.
It's comforting to see that at least some places can maintain a degree of normalcy.
Without construction materials and resources. And what about this talk of missing supplies? I would think the conversation starts there.
I apologize, but with the cataclysm, the investigation has been slow going.
How convenient.
You're putting the growth before the horns! The issue is not the supplies, it's the workforce! This may sound radical, but if we could reunite with some of the exiles from House Maleen...
Careful,
That's Maleen, there we go.
It means nothing if those who lend a hand are holding a knife.
Not to mention, they're completely sloughing mad. What? Too soon? It's only been about 50 years?
For now, let me see what I can find out
Be
regarding
the
the
zealots.
missing supplies. It's possible they were lost in the tragedy along with everything else, but I don't know for sure. Once that is
Knew she was going
sorted,
to stop in
we
the
can
middle.
revisit this debate.
Of course.
I don't know why, but I knew she was going to stop dead center of that conversation. She well, not quite dead center, but pretty close. So apparently there's another route to the spaceport here? Guess it must come out down here or something. Walls of Obedience. We'll probably get a look at that at some point. Walls of Healing down there. That's going to be traders. Meat House appears to be... Be quiet. Some kind of restaurant. Or more like.
I miss being able to play with my friends.
I have not seen my sister in days. Great Serpent, I pray nothing has happened to her.
They're a bit into their tribal tattoos, really. Groats.
Guess what she tells me?
A large groat.
She tells me there is somebody else. Never loved me to begin with. Sloth. 10 wasted years. Laying next to a body that could not care less about me.
I'm not sure what to make of you.
She's gone now. She angered the Great Serpent. And poof! And to that, you know what I say? I say good riddance to her.
Guy's clearly got issues. Alteration Clinic.
Very talkative today, huh?
I'm curious to see whether or not the new tattoos are available. Because there's a lot of House Faroon tattoos, so... I don't want to change my appearance necessarily right now, but I am curious.
Good to see you. Business has been slow since the calamity struck.
Yeah, not a good time to change your appearance.
Clinic, where you can change your look to change your life.
Just an enhance in it. This can't be legal. Well, it's right in the middle of town, and they don't seem like the type of place that handles illegal businesses very well.
I am not allowed to call it that, but where you are from, that is what you would call a shop like mine. Even those in Dazra are surprised. The shop was set up by my father not so long ago, after he came to acquire the machine. The alteration clinic is still a novelty to a lot of people here. I must admit, I am excited that you've stopped by. Maybe a customer from the settled systems can add an air of legitimacy to my little operation here.
Doubtful in their space. So good, ghosts. Guess you got stuff going on and life in the universe and so on and so forth. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate the super chat too. How do you do? You alright? You get a lot of customers? Well, no, she just said as much, I think.
Enough to keep the machine running, but business has never been lucrative.
Did your father acquire the enhanced machine? How did he do that?
Well, it was not a legal transaction.
Pinched it.
Look, this is my shop. I do not have to answer these questions. This is a completely legitimate operation, and I do not condone my father's actions.
So he half-inched it from somewhere out in the settled systems.
No need to worry. It is perfectly safe, I assure you. I keep the machine in good working order
Sure
myself.
is, yeah.
And my training is as good as any enhanced practitioner in the settled systems. My father and I spent hours scouring the machine's instruction manual.
What could possibly go wrong?
Come back if you want to feel like a new person again. Welcome.
500 credits,
I
yeah.
am curious to see what you will look like when you are done.
Nice, Ghost. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far, I have to admit. There's my shiny new outfit, from the DLC, the new outfit that I'm quite liking. So I'm not going to change a great deal. What I do want to know about is whether or not there are new tattoos. So we're on 7. So that's not new. Some of these I recognise, some I don't. Most of them at the moment. These are some of the ones that House Faroon seem to work into. Can't remember how many tattoos there were. They do seem to be quite into their tribal stuff. That actually kind of sort of suits her. Not so much that one. That's not bad either. Not do that. It's a bit too much. That's a bit weird. I'm pretty sure some of these are new. That's quite cool. Ooh, that's not bad. I quite like that. Just worse as where we were before, and we currently have. Guessing there were about 14 before. Oops, and they've probably added the rest since. That is quite nice, actually. There's a few good ones. But getting your ears tattooed would suck. That one, I think, 22 or 27. 22, I think, might be a slight winner. It's a bit prettier. Wish you could combine and have multiple tattoos. Don't know that I want to go different just yet. Yeah, I lean towards 22, I think, marginally myself. I like a lot about 27, but 22 is just a bit prettier. We'll see what happens as we go on a little bit further, and I might come back to that. Depends how much is going to, like, how all the storyline progresses and how I end up feeling about it. Andrea, she doesn't have tattoos. And again, she may have had them at some point and had them removed, maybe, for heading out into the settled systems to kind of make her stand out a bit less. Maybe she just never had any. It's interesting, nonetheless. Lucky the architecture's got a new style and stuff to it. That's cool. So they did say they were doing some trading in here. Maybe. Kim Kadich.
Leave me alone. Goodbye.
It's a little bit much in the questioning right now. Not responding, radiology, not responding, not responding, not responding. Lobby second floor, lobby first floor. Oh, I see.
Miss, I'm sorry, but I cannot just give you supplies. We are stretched razor thin as it is. We have examined your children and found that they were not in immediate need of treatment. Other patients are in more dire circumstances and require assistance. I do not like it.
Some new hair as well.
But that is exactly what I am saying.
I think maybe possibly.
The children will be fine if the Great Serpent wills it.
Bit of a dickhead attitude, that one. That's how people die. Kids will be fine so long as our God says they should be. Fuck you. I'm surprised he's not over the fucking table beating his head in. I would be.
I am trying to keep strong, but
Serpent's Grace, are you a new volunteer? I was told you'd be coming yesterday. Or was it today? By Jinan. What day even is it?
Having tattoos removed more painful than the original. Yeah, mind you, the current way of doing it involves lasering them off, so advanced technology hopefully would improve that a little bit. What parts help with carry weight? On power armor, calibrated shocks. I think it's the same on all of the power armor types. Calibrated shocks are a leg modification that improve its carry weight. Wednesday? Actually, it's not, but it could have been. First I'm hearing of volunteer work. Do I look like a calendar? First I'm hearing of any volunteer work.
So you didn't send me that slate with the urgent tone and suspect grammar? Now I'm wondering who did. No matter. You're here, they are not. My name is Vasilis. I am a Herald's assistant. Or I was, until the cataclysm took out much of the city and half of the people with it. Now I'm part healer, caretaker, warrior. The list goes on and on.
Trial by fire, long list. Oh, my sir, especially in these times. Why has your role changed?
Much of the city is just gone, as well as
imagine
most of
so
our
as
staff
well,
and
yeah.
facilities. So we've all been rushed into larger roles with inferior tools. We're stretched thin and wound tight. I feel like the skin on a balloon. I am hoping you can help let the air out.
Yes, I would imagine that would be fairly sucky, that. Burns not what you'd want, much as a trial by fire.
I'd gladly take a fire over what's happened to our city. You don't need Jinan's side to see things are bad. No, bad is the wrong word. What happened here was tectonic. And while the wounded are being tended to, I'm most concerned with those in the city who haven't sought help. What we need is for people to check in on the elderly and the infirm.
Why the elderly and infirm? Because they can't get there. I could help you check in on a few folks.
Thank you. There are many in need. But I would like you to start with Reagan Ueda. His home is not too far from here, near the Halls of Obedience. I need two things. One, see if he's okay. And two, make sure he's taking his medicine. Plus, it will be good for him to see a friendly face, to give his spirits a lift.
Tell me about Reagan. Why do you need medicine? Can you heal people? Where were you? You being overworked? Tell me about Reagan.
He's long in the tooth and a tad absent-minded. So, don't worry about distracting him. He'll do that all on his own.
Does he need medicine?
It's to help with his memory. It's a bit scattered already. And he has trouble remembering where he left things. I've heard stories that he's taken to hoarding. That doesn't sound good. But maybe it'll help him keep his mind busy. Just trying to think of the bright side. Sort as that may be around here.
Can you heal people?
About that. So, I was on the fast track to be a herald once upon a time. Emphasis on the was. Turns out I'm a bit squeamish when it comes to blood and viscera. So for now, if you're hurt, talk to Hantan Irara. She's far more qualified. That's not to say I won't be capable someday. It's my dream, after all, to become a herald. But one cannot serve the house without first carving the dagger.
I understood that. Actually, because of the wedding to Andrasia, where she told us about the dagger she made. Where were you during the cataclysm?
I was on my way to the Scaled Citadel when I saw a bird in flight pass overhead. It inspired me to write a hymn, so I stopped in my tracks to reach for my slate. I had barely started typing when I noticed the ground spilling at the edge of my feet. I looked down, then up, to see a vast crater of nothing before me, and fell to my knees. I can say for certain I was there, at the very line between life and death. but I never witnessed the Vortex perform its terrible works of death and devastation. Somehow, that troubles me more. In the time since
Yeah, he must have been rather distracted.
I was spared, when so many were lost. Perhaps it is the will of the Great Serpent that I be here to help those in need.
Yeah, there's the thing that frustrates me. Must be the will of our deity. Maybe take a little bit more responsibility for doing your own thing. It kind of annoys me sometimes when I'm watching a sporting event. You see somebody get a victory and be like, "Hey, thank God for my victory," and I'm just like, what about the fact that you put in the work and the entire team that you paid and trained you, and the list goes on and on. You know, fuck God off. Yeah. I don't know. Drives me nuts. You been overworked?
Under normal circumstances? Yes. Under these circumstances, the concept of overworked doesn't exist.
What made you want to be a herald?
In Dazra, violence is a part of life. Starting from the day we are asked to sacrifice our growths.
That's interesting.
So much of our service is dedicated to bloodshed. And I grew tired of it.
How so?
I wanted to perform miracles of a different kind. But I don't know if I am capable of such things.
He sounds like he's mostly got most of his head screwed on, right?
Jinan, guide your steps.
So...
If you do not need medical assistance, please move along.
That's the one person he directed me to.
I fear to ask, but how dire are our circumstances?
Do not worry so much. Do you not believe?
So we read something about being able to trade here, but doesn't seem to be the case.
But on his own time.
Oh, it's you.
I know
Let
that
me
voice.
make one thing very clear. You will receive no preferential treatment. No free treatments, no free supplies. We barely have enough as it is.
Well, I don't know who it is, but I absolutely recognise the voice actor's voice as being somebody who's worked in various Bethesda games over the years. No idea who, but like, as soon as they said hello there, it was like, that's very familiar.
Good. Please understand, I have not been myself lately. You found me at a bad moment. Stress of everything is becoming overwhelming, but that is no excuse to act like I just did. I apologize.
No problem.
I appreciate that. Now, may I help you with something?
Okay. Lots of stuff I can ask about there. How you feel about the disaster? How do you feel about the disaster? Yeah. Taking a minute.
Exhausted, drained, hopeless.
I'm
I'm not sure what brought this disaster upon us, whether it was the Great Serpent's wrath, or a horrible accident, or something else. But what I do know is that these people who are suffering, they did not deserve any of this.
The Serpent's wrath bullets on Dazra, then some of them did deserve it. Hard to imagine Dazra recovering for this. Easy to fall into helplessness, but I know Dazra will recover. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go for.
I do not believe your optimism is warranted, frankly, but I will admit it is a nice change of pace. I hope you are right. But for now, it is hard for me to believe that we will ever crawl out of this hole.
I think I'll leave that there for now.
If you'll excuse me, then.
I would...
Excuse me, Vindicator. Can I have a word?
I wonder if different choices...
never cease.
Yeah, I wonder if different choices... you got to the end of the Serpent's Path, we picked 2 statues out of 4 possibilities. So, don't know off the top of my head, what was that? 16 combinations or 8 combinations? Possible combinations. 16, I think. I don't know. however many combinations, but I don't know if there's you're always going to get called Vindicator, or if there's multiple titles you can get depending on the combination of stuff you choose, which would open up a lot more requirements for recording dialogue, which is not impossible, but still. I'm kind of curious if that's the thing. If I'd made a different choice, would I have a different title?
Thank you for stopping to talk to me. My name is Lijana Dulkev. Normally, I would ask how I can help you, but under the circumstances, I'm the one who needs help. I oversee the delivery of goods to those living outside the city. Unfortunately, I lost one of my couriers to the recent catastrophe. I have sought a replacement, but extra hands are in desperately short supply.
Looks to be roughly 2/3 of the city blown away. I'm not surprised. At least half of it. Now deliveries are piling up. Not sure I can be much help finding a replacement. I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that.
I appreciate your sympathy. I wouldn't normally seek help from someone I don't know. However, I am not above admitting my situation. The truth is, this is about more than just a business transaction. It is very important to me that someone makes these deliveries as soon as possible.
Sure your customers understand the delay. Difficult time for everyone. What's the urgency? You tried praying to the serpent for help. Why the urgency?
The truth is, I am new to this position. When I assumed these duties, it was impressed upon me that I would carry a great burden. The Ministry has never failed to make a timely delivery. Our reputation in this regard is flawless. That reputation and my position are both now in jeopardy.
I'm sure your customers understand under the circumstances.
The delay has been too long already. If the situation is not resolved soon, the people will begin to lose faith in us. I cannot allow that. It is my duty to uphold our high standards. Time is wasting, so I will get to the point. I would like you to be my new courier. Our deliveries are paid upon arrival. You can keep the payments for yourself. The Ministry of Commerce has a sterling reputation, and it is my duty to uphold it, no matter the cost.
I was thinking suspicion.
Those supplies might be important, perhaps even vital.
They are indeed, and our customers have been waiting far too long to receive
They are not
them.
going to be important or vital, are they?
That you will accept.
Also, I rather doubt there's any other courier services, so even if they lose a bit of faith, they're still going to be yiffing to use their services. Delivering stuff and getting paid, no need to return after. How many deliveries are we talking about?
Only 3 packages. Hardly a burden.
Yeah, it's okay.
With that being said, it is a dangerous time to travel outside the city. So
I suspect it always is. Delivering stuff and getting paid, no need to return after.
That's correct. Just make the deliveries and collect payment. There's no need to report back. The money is yours to keep. Saving our reputation is payment enough for me.
I was going to say for a second, why don't I just, take the job and then go and chuck everything in a ravine, but you're getting paid on delivery, not before, so yeah. I believe you actually would beg, but I'll let you off the hook. Be an honour to serve House to Kiev. Sure, I'll take the job. I'll let you off the hook. Let's make a joke.
I am grateful because I have swallowed as much pride as I can. Here are the packages. One is for Alikja Dalka, who you can find at a nearby growth farm. Another is for Firan Nostal, who is working on some repairs at Hamati Station. The last is for Lazim Balian, who can be found at the shrine to the north of the city. May the Great Serpent grant you swift.
That's probably going to be awkward to get to. Maybe not, actually, on reflection. Okay, so she wants us to do some deliveries. Interesting stylized
I only found myself in the halls
image of the serpent.
Occasions. Training accidents, mostly. I always found these gardens comforting.
I suspect they looked better in the past. They look like they might have seen better days. Right. So now we know our way around the city. I think we'll start with the duel. And do some stuff up, help some folks out, and go from there. Must serve. Food. That's what I wanted. Come on, brain. Cake. I'm happy to eat Chunk's cake. Need a drink though. Eight of that stuff, have I? That'll do for now. Okay. Rock and roll. So what else have we not marked on yet? Goods exchange we've been to. Vacant house we saw. Roll's Rest. This is for some weird reason listed as not explored, which is weird. Considering I did explore it.
The guards overheard my neighbor forsaking the Great Serpent. What a fool. I have not seen him in days.
Oh dear. Ooh, with less purple. What time of day is it? 2 in the afternoon.
Never in
More
his
direct
worst
sunlight makes it.
nightmares could I imagine Jinan Barun saw a future like this.
Wonder why there are big old turrets, because they're wondering what's going to come out of here? Or has something been coming out of here? So, there's that guy I need to talk to there. I'm also kind of curious as to what else is going on here. Wait. Detour around this way a little bit. We haven't checked this spot out yet. Okay, I think this takes me back to Askadik. Okay. The bottom of we found on the top previously. Okay. Since day one, thank you for the sub. Welcome on in.
No telling how long it will take to rebuild.
Can I understand why you'd be concerned about that? Oh, they just stopped on the road and waited for me, huh?
Perhaps it is not so where you are from, but we demand law and order here. Remember that.
Yeah, you seem a little obsessive on that sort of front. Might be a good opportunity to get a decent picture of my character there. This is where we're going to be going, isn't it? That's cool. Little details, you know?
This much to do.
Sending you membership notifications, are
Are you ready to
Weird.
discuss our rules?
What does second do again? They aren't serious, right? There isn't actually going to be a duel.
Oh, they are deadly serious. Borhall would have not dared to challenge Amila if not. The Odlum family has held duels in the past. It is something of a family tradition.
Oh, joy. Wait, is that before?
Yes. There was a duel between their two great-grandfathers, I believe. From what Borhall has told me, it began as a property dispute. Their uncle died in a duel after being challenged by their grandfather. He was accused of stealing family heirlooms.
Father and
History,
son?
it
Oh,
seems,
lovely.
repeats itself.
And two opposing grandfathers, that's interesting. What does the second do again?
It is our duty to prepare for the duel by procuring weapons and preparing for any ceremonies, as well as ensuring a fair fight. Importantly, we are not expected to engage in any combat, unless, of course, we are staving off an ambush. In short, we are to guarantee that the duel proceeds without issue.
Family has an unfortunate violent
Yes,
history.
and it seems that the cycle will continue. Unless you are able to get the brothers to agree to a peaceful resolution.
Let's get started.
Very good.
Give that
Let
a
us
go,
begin.
too.
Your primary duty as Amila's second is to work with the brothers and see if a peaceful conclusion is possible. Namely, if Amila apologizes to Borhall and he accepts, the duel may not move forward. As for me, I will be procuring the weapons for the duel and the materials for the preceding ceremony. Borhall, as challenger, reserves the right to choose the weapons, and he has chosen blades. Do you have any concerns?
From what I've heard, Miller is a drunkard and doesn't stand a chance in a duel with blades. Don't know if he'll be able to aim very well if he's seen two of his opponent neither. Mention it.
I will note your concern, but know that Borhall has the final say. If that is all, we will break here and see to our duties. Before that, though, I know that this duel is foolish. I am sorry you got pulled into this. I will try and find another peaceful solution to this problem, should you be unsuccessful in convincing them to call it off.
Sliding all over the place. Are duels commonplace in Varin culture?
Duels were quite common 100 years ago, but have become more rare with each passing generation. At this point, the Odlum family is the only one that still takes part in this custom.
Naturally. Borhall's going to choose the weapon. Does Amila have any right to anything?
Amila has the right to deliver a genuine apology to Borhall and stop this duel before it commences. The odds of him doing so, however, are low. The Odlum brothers, like their ancestors, are stubborn and prideful.
So I think I just have to persuade him not to do that, right?
The brothers, and inquire. As unlikely as that would be, though, Borhall can always decline the apology. Your odds of success are infinitesimal, but tradition decrees that you make the attempt regardless.
Okay, so I've got to try and talk him out of
Report back
this.
to me when you have spoken with the brothers. We will discuss your secondary duty then.
Possibly go wrong. Fortunately, I don't know if I'm wearing an intimidation suit or a shut 'em up suit. Persuasion one. Good. Happy about that. Low physical damage protection, higher energy and EM protection. Ooh, that's nice. As far as a little private shrine in your house goes. Note from Ibari Inara. Hello, I'm writing to express my concern over the bruising I frequently see while examining both your sons, especially Emila. I've spoken to the schoolmaster and they do not corroborate your explanation. Emila has been getting into fistfights at school. Your constant donations have benefited the Halls of Healing greatly, and so I'm providing a warning where I normally would not. If I see any more bruises during my examinations, I go to the guards. Sounds like the two brothers were fighting. Guessing that's the case. Ilal Adlam's diary. I've made my peace with Amila's instance. The boy was born with the devil inside him and will never listen to reason. Now it's Borhol's recent impudence that disturbs me. I caught Borhol sneaking food to Amila after his mother sent him to bed hungry. It was the third time I caught him doing so presumably father's diary here. And for it he got 3 smacks with the rod. Oh, lovely. He apologised quickly, so at least he's still capable of showing respect, unlike his brother, but the recent trend has grown worrisome. I feel that Amila's attitude has begun to rub off on his older brother. Interesting. Probably going to be that one, isn't it? Okay. Not too bad. And nothing really worth the hassle.
Hope this is worth the effort.
No, it wasn't Indrosia. Sit to my darling. It's supposed to be a lamp. It's a weird looking lamp. 5 years ago today, I lost you, and yet you still visit me in my dreams every anniversary. Do you truly love me so much? I doubt I am worth going through the trouble. It was wonderful to see you again, darling, to hug you, to feel your warmth, to smell you, to taste your lips, to see your smile, your beautiful smile that I thought I would be deprived of forever. But then I woke up. I'm afraid I must ask a cruel thing of you. Please, my darling, must stop visiting me. I'm not strong enough to handle the heartbreak of waking from these perfect fantasies, to be ripped back to a cold reality where you are dead and there's nothing I can do about it, save joining you is more than I can take. I love you, but you know that already, right? My heart is forever yours. You have ripped it out of my chest. That's not particularly a happy thing. Okay. And there's Borhol. So Miller's probably upstairs. Probably talked to him before Borhol.
Damned Amila. I cannot wait to be rid of you.
Regarding inheritance. Borhol, please accept my condolences on the death of your mother. She was a great woman, model citizen, and generous benefactor, as well you know. Benevolent even in death, she left a parting gift for you, her firstborn. I do worry how your mother's death will affect Amila. It's unfair, but it falls to you to look after him now, to discipline him, to keep him out of trouble. Your mother and father were hard on him out of necessity. They did what they did out of love, but in hopes of turning into a worthy heir to the family's fortune. Sadly, it seems they did not succeed. So unfortunately, Amila cannot be trusted with your parents' wealth, and your mother has left all of her belongings and capital to you. I understand that this may be a shock, that Amila will inevitably resent this decision, but it was a wise one. Do not let Amila manipulate you into relinquishing any of this. Your mother and father were adamant that this is your money and yours alone. Great Serpent be with you in this time of mourning. Serena Mere, executor. He inherited all the family wealth. From the sound of it, seemingly legit inheritance. That's quite an adorable emoji. Miller's out this way, is he somewhere? Oh, this is pretty. Okay. Very kind of scaled design, not terribly surprising. It's Danica. The mill's apparently out that way somewhere. In here, it would seem. Of course he's in the bar.
You seem to be doing well. I'll drink to that.
There was never a time when I was old enough to be allowed to drink alcohol here.
Lot of work to be done.
You left early then.
It'll be done.
Great Serpent, please help me. I am terrified.
Interesting. So that's where that shot was taken from.
Not looking for company right now.
Now. Is quite the view.
Ah, look who it is. I will not waste your time. I already know what you have come to ask. You wish to inquire if there is any possibility of me apologizing to my brother. The answer is no. The duel shall go forward as planned.
You seem eager to die.
Why are you so sure that I will die? I have been in plenty of scraps on the streets, and I am not some sheltered pushover like my brother.
Okay. All you have to do is apologize. Why is that so difficult?
He is trying to kill me. Why should I be the one to apologize?
There's no motive to do that.
Paint me as a ne'er-do-well. But what type of psychopath wants to kill their own brother? It is not fair. He should be the one begging for my forgiveness.
Nothing good will come from this duel. What are you trying to prove?
You cannot just turn your back on family like Borhall has done to me. And now he wants to kill me. If he wins, I hope the guilt of what he has done will rot him from the inside out. And if I win, it is justice.
I have questions, but it seems to me, yeah, he feels put upon, but at the same time, it seems like his brother probably had quite a bit of grounds, and that stealing and attempting to sell the urn with their mother's ashes in was just the last straw, really. What button?
Ah, look who it is. I will not waste your time. I already know what you have come to ask. You wish to inquire if there is any possibility of me apologizing to my brother. The answer is no. The duel shall go forward as planned.
Doesn't have to be in earnest.
It does not matter. An apology is an apology, and I will not humiliate myself like that.
Personal questions.
Fine. But do try to be brief. I would prefer to be alone so that I may enjoy what could very well be my final moments alive.
What led to this? Why did you refuse to apologize? Did he ever help you when your parents would hit you? You think you can kill him? Aren't you scared of dying? That was all. What led to this divide?
I do not know. Perhaps him challenging me to a duel has something to do with it.
And why exactly are you refusing to
Do I have
apologize?
something to apologize for?
Just a second, you need to open up to me. You won't give me real answers.
Correct. You are my second, not my acquaintance. I do not wish to speak of these things with you.
Get Andresia to chip in, or I can try and persuade. Tell the smugglers to and act as more than you listening on. I'm going to get Andresia to chip in because, you know, that's going to be fun, I think.
Just answer the damn questions or I will make you answer.
Fine. Ask your questions again.
Why do you refuse to
Because I am
apologize?
still my own brother. I cannot make sense of it. Who would challenge their own flesh and blood to a duel? Damn him! Damn him for
The
putting
reasoning
me in
done
this
it.
position. Damn him because I know even if I were to apologize, ending this duel before it starts, I will always see someone who would rather me dead when I look at his face.
Well, to be honest, he has chosen blades, so he kind of gets the option as to choose whether or not he kills you. If he'd chosen guns, he'd have less control over that, other than deliberately missing. He can beat you, win, and still choose not to kill you with a sword. He can't really do that so easily if he's got a gun. Do you really think you can kill him?
As in, am I physically capable? Perhaps, if the Great Serpent wills it. Am I mentally capable? I believe so. I have never felt this fury within me before.
Not scared of dying?
Look at me. Really look at me. Do I appear to be someone that has much to live for?
He does appear to be a bit of a wastrel.
Except giving Borhall the satisfaction of taking my life.
Do you want to die?
Maybe it would be better to be dead. There is not much to live for, is there? Especially nowadays. I am not sure that I want to die, but I am growing tired of living. Sometimes it feels like my life has run its course. But I am not just going to let Borhall end me. I cannot give him that satisfaction.
It's interesting the scarf that's going on there that doesn't entirely appear. Yeah, okay. It's like it's. I don't know if it tucks in around the back. I'm curious now. But yeah, kind of tucks through parts of the rest of his outfit, which is quite cool. So catching in the wind and flapping away and being pulled away, I suppose. That's probably not such a bad thing. Did he ever help you when your parents were teaching you? Yeah, we know he did from the note we found.
To a point. He would beg them to stop and volunteer to take some
Sounds like
dose.
parents were pretty awful.
One day, I could not take it anymore. I wanted to run to the guards, tell them how my parents would hate me, starve me. Borhall talked me out of it. He said that mother and father would find out, and the beatings would only get worse. I listened to him, and on it went.
Why does Borhall still love your parents after all of that?
I do not know. Ask him. I loved my parents too, you know. And what hurt most, more than any beating, was knowing they did not love me. Great Serpent. I wish I got the chance to sell my mother's urn. Serves her right.
Interesting. So maybe it's not just down to him being a drunken arse. It seems he's something of a drunken arse because his parents were pretty fucking awful. And it sounds like he probably didn't accidentally try and sell the urn. It seems like he was probably doing it in part to get back at his deceased and hateful parents, which is interesting.
Yes, I have. I am ready to fight and to die, if that is what the Great Serpent wills. Perhaps Borhall was depending on me being a coward. Perhaps he did not truly believe this duel would go on. Unfortunately for him, I am no coward.
Possibly just a fool. Well, definitely that, I think. An interesting scenario. Of course, he's talking about, like, if he wins, he doesn't have to look at his brother's face knowing that every time he sees his brother wanted him dead. But if he loses, his brother then has to live with what he's done. The flip side of that is, if he wins, he also has to live with what he's done, and whether or not he can do that is a question we didn't get to put to him. Or a scenario we didn't get to discuss with him. So this is clearly Borhald's room. I'm guessing this must be Mal's bedroom. Look at that. Because this looks rather like a parent's bedroom. Yeah, double bed as well. It's like Amal had a wife at some point who died. It's very pretty, that little shrine. Guessing that's the urn with the mother's ashes in it. Anyway. Early to bed, buddy. 9:15, 8:15 at night.
What is it? I need to prepare.
No wonder he chose blades. He's got a whole bunch of fucking knives on the wall. Nothing in his own way, apparently. Big old cut across his eye as well. Call the jewel off, you'll end up regretting it if you don't. I'm here because Danica told me I need to be. I think the jewel should move forward. I'm going to try and talk about it. You should call the jewel off, you'll end up regretting if you don't.
I will do no such thing. And will feel no regrets in avenging Amila's constant dishonors. I have given him every chance, every credit. I have begged him to turn himself around. But instead, it has been endless years of dishonor and pain. Damn him. I should have known years ago that this would be the only way things would end.
Sounds like you made up your mind one way or another. You won't have to worry about him soon. Personal questions. What would it take for you to call off the jewel? If you knew it would end like this way, didn't you intervene? Huh? It's a bit weird. You think he has a chance of beating you? What would it take for you? I'll skip that for now. I think I'll go personal questions first.
No, you are not my second. I do not see how this is pertinent to your duties.
Okay. Make Andrea chip in, or I can go for persuade. This one probably has a high chance of success.
Show a modicum of respect and answer the questions.
Yes. My apologies. You are right. Forgive my ignorance. I will answer any questions you have for me.
Your parents treated you and your brother horribly. Why do you care about the memory so much?
The family name is all we Adlams have left. My parents were great philanthropists. They built schools, parks, temples, monuments. They were two prime citizens of House Varun.
Yeah, all would cover up the fact they were nasty as fuck at home.
And our once great fortune is nearly spent. The money they left us was meant to be used for donations. We were meant to make Dazra a better place. But Amila has sucked the well dry. My parents...
You say that, but you had the money.
Maybe they were not good people, but they were good citizens. And Amila trying to sell their remains was just barbaric.
Would you be happy if he died?
No, Great Serpent, no. I will take no pleasure in his death. However, I may admittedly feel relief. I will mourn the loss of my brother. The brother he used to be, at least. And I will pray that his restless soul finds comfort with the Great Serpent.
And what have you done to support him? In your mind, what caused this rift between the two of you?
The Koza ruined him.
The booze.
Once he began living at the bottom of a bottle.
And I don't think you did.
I am just exhausted by him. It is exhausting to constantly be blamed by him for all of his problems, while always being expected to forgive and help him when he demands.
This is still Koza? What's that? Pretty sure it's going to come up as being booze.
An alcohol made from goat milk. Amila is absolutely dependent on it, and his wife was too. The damn stuff rots your brain, I swear. He has always been a troublemaker, but once the Koza took over, he went from bad to worse. Now he is just an addict, and a thief. I will be putting him out of his misery.
Sounds like his life has gone down the crapper, partly because his parents treated them so shittily, and then partly after his wife died, making it worse. Seems, although his wife may, if she was as much of a drinker as he says as well, was probably not helping the situation any either. Do you hate the guy?
I do not hate him. I do not love him either. And I can no longer tolerate him. I am sure Amila will spin a tale about his hard life. But the truth is that he has always been a miscreant and a troublemaker. But when Father moved to strike him, who dove in front of the blows? When Mother would not feed him, who sacrificed their food? It was me. It was always me. How does he repay me? He steals my valuables, slanders my name, and brings dishonor on the family. Any affection I had for my brother is long dead.
Just needs to get into rehab then, not into the dirt. What was it like before his your relationship like before the addiction? What was it? Yeah, what was your relationship like before his addiction?
We were never the closest of brothers, as our personalities are just so different. But we were close enough. He was a free spirit, which irked my parents. Honestly, I respected him a lot. He was unbreakable, even though the world was not always kind to him. He was funny, kind, and he always was trying to cheer me up, even if I had nothing to be sad about. The Amila you know now is not my brother. My brother may as well have died years ago. The Amila walking around today is nothing like what he used to be.
What have you done to help him through his hardships?
I have done everything, and he has left me with nothing.
It's a bit non-specific.
He comes begging for money, so I gave it to him. Then he comes begging for my items to pawn, so I sacrifice them. And then he comes screaming to me that I hate him, that I have done nothing to help him. All of this for a decade now. I would lay by his side every night praying that he would not choke on his own vomit. But in the mornings when I would throw away his bottles of Koza, he would fight me like a monster. I used to take such pride in giving to the community, and in using my privileged position to help the less fortunate in the city. But I can no longer do that, as Amila has taken nearly every cent from me. I have sacrificed my entire purpose for living in the hopes that Amila would get better. And he never does.
It is a mess, all right. Would you take a few to call off the duel?
There is nothing that could lead me to calling it off. An apology from Amila is worthless. He always falls right back into his old ways. There is no apology grand enough to make up for nearly trading your late mother's remains to fund an addiction. That is inconceivable.
Isn't it against the rules for you not to accept an apology? No, we have established that it's not. If you knew it would end like this, why didn't you intervene?
Do you think I wanted this to happen? I tried to stop this downward spiral countless
It doesn't seem like he's that much of a mess at the moment, but he may be on the up point of it.
Only for them to leap back into the ocean. Amila refuses to be helped, and he is determined to take me and the family name down with him.
Do you think he has a chance of winning?
Not at all. I have served my time in the military. Amila's condition made him unfit for service. He may put up a good fight, but I will surely be the victor.
Interesting. Looks like your mind's made up, so I'll leave you to it.
That is all. You may take your leave.
Yep, doesn't look like they're going to be talked out of it. They've Too much mess to try and overcome. To be honest, if he apologised and checked into rehab, he might actually have a chance of turning this around, but doesn't seem like that's going to be a thing that happens.
Let Mila break you down. How did you fare?
The stubborn and insane Julius are neither agreed to call off the job.
While disappointing, I am not surprised. Those brothers are stubborn as groats. But you may still have a chance to halt any bloodshed. Listen to me very carefully. Your final duty as a second is to prepare the ceremonial drinks that the duelists will imbibe prior to the duel. As you are preparing the drinks, you will treat each cup with this tranquilizer. Morhal and Amila will be too weak to fight after drinking this. This duel is idiotic, we both know it. It is a needless loss of life during a crisis where there is already so much death. And the victor will rue his actions for the remainder of his life. You have one final chance to stop this.
You are placing both of their lives into our hands. This responsibility is not fair.
She's behind the wall there.
Saving 2 lives.
What if I dose just one of the cups? You sure the tranquilizer is safe, but don't only get paid if one of them dies? You sure the tranquilizer is safe?
Theoretically, this should be safe.
Why do I have to do this?
Tradition decrees that the second of the challenged prepares the ceremonial drinks. I, as the challenger's second, will lead the duelist in a final prayer. We must follow tradition closely so as to not arouse suspicion. If Borhall is wary of us, he will remove us as second and simply hire others. And the bloodshed will move forward unchallenged.
One sheriff for help, and the other would rather keep the family name than help his brother. Except well, neither of them is any more convincing than the other, really, to me, in terms of level of believability. But it sounds like the sober one has been offering to help his brother for years and trying to the point where his coffers have been completely drained, as well as the family's reputation being trashed. And it's just got to the point where, there's only so many times you can extend a hand and have it pushed away before you turn around and say, fuck you then, to somebody. And I think that's where it's got to. It does sound like he spent years trying to help. When they were kids, he was trying to help, get the parents to lay the hell off of him, or mitigate some of that. And then as an adult, tried to help dig him out of the situations he got himself into, and has just clearly failed miserably. Seems like it doesn't seem like the sort of place where rehab is exactly available around here, so he's probably done all he can. Mind you, take somebody to a rehab place, if they turn around and walk back out the door again, there's fuck all you can do about it. I don't think either of them are really in the best situations here. One's decided to turn his back on his brother and duel him, after his help was refused, and the other is quite happy to rob his brother but wouldn't take his help when it was offered. They're as bad as each other in their own ways. What if I dose just one of the cups? Well,
that would be tantamount to murder.
Yes, well, I wouldn't be doing that. Leave it to me.
Very good. Report to me when you are finished. May the Great Serpent aid us.
The ceremonial drinks, presumably... no, in here. Okay, looks like they're going to be dueling in here, are they? It's not going to end well for them. So tranquilize Miller, tranquilize Borehole, tranquilize both. Tranquilize nobody, and actually let them fight it out. Interesting decision. Well, it's either both or neither. I'm not doing one or the other, because that's just, she's right, it is tantamount to murder. And they're both as bad as each other, but neither one deserves to die, really. Tranquilizing both means no duel, probably. Tranquilizing nobody means they fight it out and one of them will die. Probably a Miller, I'm guessing. Especially if he's not sober. Or at least reasonably sober. But if I tranquilise both, well, at least I'll get another chance to resolve the differences that way. So I'm thinking both. I'm going to go with both. It's the only way where they get another chance to actually resolve the differences without somebody dying, really. All the other options end up with somebody dying. And for all their issues, that's not great. He spent money and made him look bad and spurned a helping hand over and over. It's not like he's murdered somebody or done something horrific, really. No.
Is everything ready?
Ceremonial drinks prepared. Everything's ready, but are you sure about this?
I am sure. If everything is ready, then it is time to move forward. The time has come. Amila, are you sufficiently prepared?
I am ready.
It is time. Nothing we can do now but observe and hope for the best.
Yeah. Yeah. Even she doesn't know how safe the tranquilizer is. Yeah, that is true. And it might end up killing them both anyway. It's interesting in cooking station. Okay.
To your health, brother. And may the Great Serpent have mercy on your soul, Amila. What is this? What have you done to me, Amila?
Hey, Ancient.
I am affected as well, dear brother. I did not do this. I can hardly see you in front of me.
What the hell is this? What did you do? What is this? Sabotage?
This duel was an asinine idea, Borhal. We put a stop to it. There is no use for
Well, they seem to just have a headache so far, so I think we're doing okay.
We must come together, not kill one another.
You traitoress. You betray me. And then you lecture me.
Oh, enough of your grousing, Borhal. Your precious duel can wait. Or are you truly so determined to kill me?
Enough of your taunting. This is not over.
I am counting on that.
Remove yourselves. We must rest. But know that you have only delayed the inevitable.
And I slightly wish it also contained a laxative element. It would just feel appropriate, that.
Thank the Great Serpent. You did it. The tranquilizer worked and you saved them both. Thank you for trusting me.
Well, today at least. Will it be okay?
What? From the tranquilizer? They will sleep a few days and be fine. I expect. They may suffer a bit, but it is a far better alternative to being stabbed to death.
Yep. I can't say I was expecting a happy ending, but...
Nonsense. You've made the right choice. Their egos are bruised, but deep down they are both relieved. Come what may, we have narrowly avoided a bloodbath today. If they are stupid enough to try again, we will find another way to stop it. But I doubt that day will come.
Glad your plan worked, if you say so. Just not sure this is the end. How do you know they won't just duel each other again?
I have faith that the Great Serpent will open their hearts to each other.
Hasn't done yet.
Show them that the pain from the tranquilizer would be dwarfed by humiliation and guilt, had the duel ended in bloodshed.
I'm not so sure this is the end.
Some of Amila's pessimism seems to have rubbed off on you. I want to
No,
thank
I'm just
you.
not daft.
You trusted me, and because of you, the brothers, my friends, are both alive. They are imbeciles, but better people than they seem. I am grateful for you. Please take this. It is admittedly not much compared to what you would have received if one of them had perished, but can you truly put a price on a human life? You are free to go. May the Great Serpent be with you. Always.
Little Star Wars reference in there. Cheesesteak, I'm thinking. That'll do. So yeah, I think they're as bad as each other, really. And I don't think we've solved the problem so much as sort of delayed it, but you know. Promise broken, that's the main story. Scientific method. Good refinery, house divided. Which one was that? I can't remember. Dazra heard a conversation between different citizens may represent different interests. Speak to one of them and learn more. That would be interesting later. Lost and found. City in turmoil. Check on one of the citizens and do some deliveries. I think we'll do this one first. Well, for now. Bit of lost and found. And check some people are taking their meds and stuff.
Salutations.
Yep.
How did we end up here?
Do not move. You have committed a grave offense, citizen.
I am sorry. Please, have mercy. I am starving. I cannot sleep. I cannot think due to my hunger.
You are not the only one suffering. Your actions have deprived another of precious food. You will await your punishment at the security center. Come along.
No. No, please.
Move!
Yeah. Don't think we need chat filling up there, Ancient. Yeah, you might be starving, but you steal somebody else's food, you're just doing the same shit to them. Especially when everybody's struggling. So, I need to go and find the house of somebody who's, yeah, here. Old fella whose memory's got a bit iffy, and we need to check he's taking his meds. Oh yeah, he said he might have become a bit of a hoarder.
Where did I put it? Serpent's tongue. I'm getting tied up with my own system. It says here, senbei. Rice crackers. Did I mean a...
The Great Serpent is always with us, at work and at home.
Of nut to crack?
Right. You okay there, buddy?
Oh, hello. Have we met before?
Not yet. We haven't. You owe me money. Do you not remember either way?
I remember things when I need to. Not everything needs to be, right?
We have not yet, mate.
Oh, well, in that case, it's nice to meet you. And I apologize for the mess. I've been trying to keep everything here sorted, based on a personal system. The problem is that it's all gotten to be too much, and I can't find my things.
I can help you. Just going to make sure you've been taking your medicine. What did you lose? You have a system? You have a system?
Yes. I pick a word that reminds me of another word, and that makes me remember where it is. There might be a slate around here that has more details. Maybe look around for those.
Right. What did you lose?
Well, my keycard for one, socks for another, and one more thing. Something important, I think.
You lost something important? Any idea what?
No, but I'll know it when I see
Meds, maybe?
I think.
What's the missing keycard for? The door in there, I think.
Several things. I just don't recall what they are. Maybe it was for a door? I'm sorry. I'm so forgetful these days.
You lost your socks?
Not my socks, but socks. He's a dog plushie. White as a pair of socks, if I recall correctly. Of course, no guarantee that I do.
I see him. He's just over Regan's right shoulder here. A parsec pooch over in the background. Just going to make sure you've been taking your meds.
I'm sorry, but I can't be bothered with that now. I need to find my things.
I think we can help.
Oh, that would be grand. This seems more like a two-person job. With my system and your gusto, we'll find exactly what I'm looking for. Whatever it was.
Right. Just settle down by the fire, is he? Some of the stuff that apparently I need to help clean up with. Anything else? Anything else polish out by the bed, perhaps? Still clutter. Can't do that. Don't need things in the cooking pit. And a log about the vase. Okay, so we've got a lot of trash to help him clear out. Plants. Clutter, okay. Okay, we'll get somewhere. So the clutter put in there. Socks. It's like trash over there that I can't grab. Too many notes.
Keep too many notes. It's confusing.
It makes sense to me.
It just looks like word spaghetti. Like, why does this say keycard? Rock thrown at my face.
Duck.
Huh?
When someone throws a rock at you, you duck. I keep my keycard under it, in the sink. And sinks make me think of sinking. That's what happens to forgotten memories. They sink into the depths of your brain.
Xion, that's a terrible system.
Yes, yes it is. So his keycard is under the wooden duck in his sink. Don't leave things in the cooking pit.
I know that you're running out of shelf space, but you really shouldn't put things on the hearth. There's a whole box of paper towels here for no reason. And don't get me started on the stuff in the cook pit.
Well, I don't put it there on purpose. I'm in the living room, and I need some place to put things, and it sort of happens. Also, I was trying to keep round things together. Round circle, round things. And Sox's helmet is round. I have a whole system based on word association.
It's no wonder you're always losing your things.
I think I picked that up at a thrift store somewhere.
So, tell me about...
Didn't mean to do that.
So, tell me about your kids. The ones at the orphanage.
I love them, but they can be difficult. There's this one boy, Rumarin, who won't stop misbehaving.
He sounds like a handful.
I need about 10 more hands and a cargo ship for that one.
I see.
Careful, don't knock over the vase.
How did it feel on you, right? Hope work's going alright. Appreciate the look.
What's this thing?
It's a seed accelerator. It will help you grow your plants. We have one at the orphanage.
You mean like spies?
No, I mean like green things that grow out of the ground.
Ah, yes. Envies. They're greenwood.
Okay.
Just a reminder, I'll be over tomorrow to help organize your things. The trash goes into the bin, but the clutter we can place on the shelves. We'll get everything sorted and just how you like it. Love you and see you soon.
Okay. Music box.
Oh, what do you have there?
You'll never guess what I found. It's a music box.
Music box?
Oh, that old thing? It probably doesn't even work anymore.
Well, that's because you never sing to it.
Pardon?
You have to train this kind of box. You fill it with a song, and it will remember the melody and play it back to you.
Oh, I don't know. Are you sure that's how it works?
Lost, alone,
Interesting.
whispers, a voice
Good to have you here, Ghost.
for our trapped world, unheard.
That's a very catchy song. Hard to forget. Like an earworm.
Worms in your ears would be hard to forget.
I'm just saying, if I heard it, I would remember this day. Remember us. So would you, I think.
Well, I plan on sticking around for a while, but okay, deal. If something were to happen and we forget each other, we'll play this song to remember.
Deal.
Interesting.
What is that? A music box? I don't remember owning that. I wonder if it even works.
Can't remember owning a droid. Can inspect it, try and play it for you. Looks like it's in pretty bad shape. If you kept it hidden away, it must have been important. I can inspect it and try and play it for you.
Would you mind? I'm not very good with these things. But hopefully, it still has a little bit of song inside. This song, I can't.
Missing grandchild, I'm guessing? Or at least child.
I remember now. This song.
Had grandchild vibes there.
It's the one my granddaughter used to sing. She used to help me around the house, doing chores, tidying up, and then the accident happened. And I haven't seen her since.
That's sad. Maybe she's still out there. Half the city vanished, not surprising. Do you mean the vortex? Why keep it locked away? You mean the vortex?
Yes. She was volunteering at the old orphanage in the heart of the city when the accident happened. So many were lost. So many. And yet, I still had hope she would return. But every day that passed, I could feel the hope in my heart start to wane. And when you played that song, I felt an emptiness.
A little off center on that chair, isn't he?
And I realized she's never coming back.
Why keep it locked away?
Have you ever had a dream that was so vivid you thought you would never forget it? Then you wake up and none of it remains. Only a longing for something you'll never have back. Most days, that's what I feel. Empty and alone, but never sure why. But when I hear that music, the dream becomes real again. And it's too much for this old man to bear.
Yeah, I can get a lot of what he's saying there, actually. Maybe she's still out there.
I know you mean well, but I can't keep doing this. The more I cling to the idea she's still alive, the harder it gets. If you don't mind, I have a
Definitely a sad story.
Keep the music box with you. The song. It carries too many memories. And with it, a pain I wish to forget.
Is it why you stopped taking your medication?
Yes. And it's my choice. If you have mercy, let me live with it.
I'll keep it.
Thank you. You need not do anything special with it. But I can't bear the sight of it now. If you'll kindly leave, I must get back to my things.
Oh, poor fella. Well, at least we helped him out a bit. Do I have a Discord? No, Ghost. Tried that a while ago. It was way more than I could keep up with. Turns out managing a Discord is basically a full-time job in and of itself. I just couldn't keep up with that.
What do you want?
My brother lost his wife and home in a catastrophe. How can anyone be the same after that?
I don't suppose they could.
I can be a bit talkative, manic even. Apologies in advance. So, how did it go with Reagan?
Fine. Hasn't taken his medication and worried about him. His granddaughter's missing.
Sadly, that's the way of things at the moment. These days, it's hard to account for who's missing and who's gone. But the difference hardly matters. Loss is loss, no matter the form. In any case, thank you for doing this for me. I'm sure your visit helped him, if only for a moment. If you don't mind, can you come back in a day or two? I will have more work for you then.
I'll see what I can do.
I most certainly will. Dazra's problems are many, but its character continues to shine through in people like yourself. Regardless, even if our paths do not cross again, Jinan bless you for your assistance.
We have possibly...
I just haven't got enough hours in the day now.
It has been quite a challenge to keep all of the records.
This city, I can hardly understand.
Oh, that was the house divided thing. Yep, those are quite a track. And I also need to head out this way, so... I'll be able to get down that way, possibly. Part of some of the quests I need to do. Still not the best of UI. So I think House Divided will be the one to tackle next time as side quests go, before we have a look at some other stuff. So... for one evening, I think it is about that time. Yeah, cool. Definitely an interesting place, Dazra. The sort of day-to-day, such as it is in a city that's had its day-to-day completely smashed to bits, kind of has its similarities to anywhere else. But at the same time, the whole, almost everything comes back to their religious beliefs because it's such a religious society. And some of their religious beliefs are problematic. Most people seem to want to live day-to-day lives, but the whole kind of, belief that everybody else is at best damned, at worst needs to be destroyed or brought into the fold, or some variation on that, is problematic, to say the least. Their doctrine gets iffy, which is not unusual, and it's one of the more believable elements of the faith, to be honest. And that whole, one guy claimed to have spoken to the Great Serpent during a grav jump, but nobody else experienced that. And then the whole faith builds up around that. Oh. All too familiar to real life, that. And then nobody else has. And now this situation arises from a desire to try and break through to the void, the vortex between worlds, and communicate with this creature that may or may not exist. It's an interesting scenario, yeah. it also kind of opens up a load of interesting questions as to what future expansions and DLC might include, because Bethesda are planning on doing at least one of these a year, or at least for a while anyway. So what might follow Shattered Space and the future? Where might we go next and so on? It'll be interesting to see. But we are still barely scratching the surface, I think. There's a lot left to dive into, so that'll be cool. But definitely one for next time. Not quite sure 100% when that next time will be. I'm going to have a video with my early thoughts and stuff relating to the DLC up tomorrow. I wanted to do it today, but time and everything. On tomorrow evening, we will be streaming 76, so we'll drop back into that. Thursday, Friday, we've got the demo for the Axis Unseen is out now, so I definitely want to check that out. And I'm not quite sure how long that'll be and how much time that might take up, so we'll see. And then there's also Stalker Clear Sky to finish, and again, I'm not quite sure how much time that might take up. So what I think we'd probably do is check the demo for the Axis Unseen on Thursday, and I'll set up contingency. And on Friday, we'll dive into Stalker Clear Sky, and depending on how much of that there is left, I'll set up contingency there as well, and we'll see what happens, I guess. And this is believing your delusions are real, religion is believing someone else's are. Yeah, that's fairly true, no? I mean, you say, I don't really have too much of an issue with some of people's religious beliefs and stuff, especially when there's shared heritage and stuff going on there. But it's that whole, like, everybody else has to believe what I believe attitude that gets up my nose a lot. You ask these people if they want religious freedom, they'll say yes. You ask them whether or not everybody else should be able to believe whatever they want, they'll say no, they need to follow my faith. Some variation. Well, no, they'll say yes, they should be allowed to believe what they want, whilst at the same time the faith tells them that they're all damned and they have to believe what they're told, and this, that, and the other. It's just it's a crock of shite. That aspect is. Yeah, and it's also the same aspect that leads to, people fighting over it and killing each other over it, which is unnecessary and insane. Anyway, I'm finding this quite interesting. It's cool to check out a new area. Definitely having fun jumping back into Starfield. God, this character has so much to do, so we'll see how we do on that. And definitely looking forward to jumping back into Nightingale. Nightingale's going to be my contingency for whatever time we have left over and stuff, if we get through stuff quickly, which we probably won't, but we'll see, for the next few days. And failing that, I'll probably jump back into Nightingale on Saturday. Video-wise, as I say, Starfield 1 tomorrow, Fallout 1 after that, and we'll see where we go from there. Hopefully a build or something after that, but that will probably be next week by the time I get to it. Because, well, it depends how long it takes me to make videos tomorrow and stuff, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, folks, thank you for hanging out. Hope you've had fun. Hope you're enjoying the Starfield DLC expansion thing. Like I say, it's interesting to dive into, and we'll pursue it further from tomorrow. I'm glad there's loads of new character customization options. I don't suppose if they'll be available at initial character creation. The sort of House Varun tattoos don't make a lot of sense. I feel like there's a couple of other bits, potentially hairstyles, which might be available. We didn't check that. And that may or may not go in from available from the start if you have the DLC. I don't know. It would make more sense. But yeah, that's kind of cool. We might have to change it, but I'm going to see how we feel about the ongoing story before I commit to changing the tattoo. We'll see. Anyway, folks, thank you for hanging out. Look after yourselves. Stay safe. Where the buttons are if you haven't already. Likes, subs, notification bell, all that good stuff. Social media links down there, and channel membership if you want to check that out. Yeah, be back at it tomorrow for some 76, and have a thumb through the rest of the stuff on the channel if you're looking for something to watch. There's no shortage. Anyway, for now, have yourselves a good rest of your evening. Have a good day tomorrow, and I will see you around about 8 o'clock for some Fallout 76. So, till then, have a good night. Night, folks. Bye.